Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Up Supercast Game Club. My name is Brandon, and I am your host. I'm feeling a little bit angry today, and joining me today, I have Ills.
You never taught me how to stop my fists.
And I got Noah.
I'm mashing B furiously.
Well, luckily, that's mostly about 90% of what you had to do this week when we played Asura's Wrath for the Xbox 360 and the PS3.
Another multi-platform from Brandon.
Another multi-platform game that I chose.
Can't stay faithful.
I can't, I don't want to be held down to just one console, so I like to jump around, have fun. Some would say I am a swinger of video game players. But anyway,
or a cheater.
Or would I? Hey, no, because I don't tell a console that I'm going to stay faithful to it. I don't give them that idea. So I'm not a cheater. They know what they're getting into. But Asura's Wrath is an action game developed by CyberConnect 2 and published by Capcom. That was released, like I said, on the PS3 and the Xbox 360, February 21st, 2012 in North America. So we played this game on the Xbox One because it is backwards compatible. And apparently it's also backwards compatible on the PlayStation 4 and PC, but only via PlayStation Now.
Oh, dumb.
So, yeah. But yeah, so game was real cheap, by the way, $3.99. Fucking cheap-ass game nowadays.
Not if you wanted the true ending.
Well, no, you'll pay a little bit more if you want the true ending. But, yeah, CyberConnect 2 developed this game, by the way. Actually, before I talk about that, I did pick this game, like you mentioned earlier. The reason I picked it, it's pretty simple. Always heard about this game, thought it looked cool, now I want to play it. That's it. Simple as that.
The reason you picked it is because it's Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, kind of. That's why I thought it looked cool, because it's very anime. And CyberConnect 2, that's a good segue, because CyberConnect 2, the people who developed this game, are well known for making anime games, specifically the Naruto games, the big, most popular Naruto games, the Ninja Storm series, or the Ultimate Ninja.
Ultimate Ninja Storm.
That's very good. So those games are known for their over-the-top, when you do your finishers or your special moves, they're really big over-the-top animations. Like, I could just sit there and watch, Naruto special moves, the entire roster, going through all of them, because they're just cool to watch, And you can definitely tell when you play this game that it's very similar in that style, because it is very anime. It's basically, the game has been described as a couple different things, because it's the way I would describe this game is QTEs, the game, or quick time events.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
A lot of people, call it that, and that's a very good way to describe it. And some people call it an interactive anime.
That's also very accurate.
Yeah.
That's probably a better way to describe it. QTE is the game sounds like derisive, and I will criticize the game on that, but calling it interactive anime is a little bit more charitable.
Yeah.
Plus, it kind of feels like an anime because every episode opens and closes with a trailer.
It has a transition mid-episode, it has a transition end of episode. It tells you what happened in the last chapter before you begin the next chapter.
Yeah.
It shows you the credits every single chapter.
The opening credits, kind of developed by CyberConnect, published by Capcom. Every episode of there's 18 episodes in the regular game too. So, it very much just straight up presents itself that it's an anime. Which is definitely unique. I've never played a game like this before.
I can't think of anything like this.
Yeah. When I think of QTE the game, right? Obviously this one comes to mind because of what it is, but also I think of games like Heavy Rain, but you can't really compare this game with Heavy Rain.
I think I like Heavy Rain's QTEs more than this game, to be honest.
Well, yeah, because Heavy Rain kind of is in games similar in that fashion. Sometimes the QTEs matter, kind of
Yeah.
Well,
Until Dawn, that's a QTE the game.
Dawn,
It's an interactive movie, basically. And those QTEs matter in the story more than Asura's Wrath.
Exactly.
Yeah. In Asura's Wrath, the QTEs only really matter during the battles, the actual battles you're fighting when you trigger one. In the cutscenes, they don't matter at all.
Even if you other than your high score, if you're trying to get an S rank, and that's what you care about.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's dumb as fuck. And there's so many cutscenes that you don't have to touch the controller at all, even though the game tells you to touch the controller. You don't have to.
Yeah, and it's like
you don't have
so many cutscenes. Right. It's like 80% of the game. Like there's 2 fights every chapter, and then the rest is cutscene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very much
less than 5 minutes of gameplay each chapter, pretty much.
Right,
pretty much.
Which is, and some of the chapters seem like they just kind of fly by, but you're also, it was like an 8-hour game, and you're really just watching an anime at the end of the day. And although you're right, you don't have to, you could just put the controller down and nothing, if you don't care about your rank at the end of the level, you can just it doesn't matter, but it does also feel kind of cool to, press the buttons at the right time.
It is, yeah, the quick time events were actually fun to pull off. It was satisfying.
I will say, initially, I felt engaged, but, after a while, it's just, I didn't care anymore.
Sure.
Because a lot of the events, they're not that... I mean, they're pretty similar. It's him doing that stupid fucking punch over and over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just press B, move the control stick in certain directions to dodge at certain times, or even just really weird stuff he's getting up off the ground, press up. It's it's so unnecessary that it's a thing that you have to press, but they're trying to make you feel you're involved in the game. Yeah, involved. Yeah, exactly. So in Asura's Wrath, obviously you play as the title character Asura, and he is a god, a deity, and
demigod apparently, or
demigod.
Whatever.
Yeah. What he is very. What they all are is a little confusing to me still, because they're robots. He's basically Iron Man, but also he's a god. It's very confusing.
It's insanely confusing.
Yeah.
Because, alright, for some reason they want to save the Earth, right? But they have technology that is so far advanced from anything that's on the Earth. It seems like they don't belong there. And they don't even seem human, or even biological,
Right. Because he has robot arms that break off multiple times through the game. At the end, his chest opens up, and none of it makes any sense.
I mean, it is cool, but don't think about it.
Yeah, don't think about it. And I think that's what they want you to do, kind of, is to not really think about it. And the actual style of it mixes kind of like Buddhism, it mixed with science fiction kind of with the robot stuff. And honestly, that is really fucking cool.
Yeah, I really especially the designs of most of the characters is really cool.
Yeah. Right, because it's not just Asura, because there's 8 deities in the game, and the story basically plays out too that Asura, at the beginning, you're trying to save Earth. I'm pretty sure it's Earth.
It is Earth.
Yeah, so you're trying to save Earth, and there's from the Goma, and you're trying to fight them off, and you get this victory over them to kind of seal away the main bad guy there. What the hell is his name?
Viltra.
Yes,
one of those.
One of those. And you see him away. There's a big celebration, and then Asura basically. There's what the hell is his name? He's a priest, he's the leader of them all, and the emperor. He gets assassinated, and it makes it looks like basically Asura gets framed into doing it, and then his wife gets murdered, and they kidnap his daughter because his daughter
for almost no reason. Why would they frame Asura?
Right.
There's no reason why to frame him.
Well, my only guess is
they wanted to use his daughter.
They needed to use his daughter, and they knew they would never get his permission otherwise.
But they were already using his daughter.
They wanted to use her a lot more than he would have been okay with.
Like, they were prepping to use her. They hadn't started using her yet.
Because she has the ability to gather mantra, and they were going to use all that mantra to kill Vlithra for once and for all. He
mantra being like an energy source.
Energy source from souls from humans, I guess.
Yeah, because apparently they used up the last priestess in the last fight.
Yeah.
They never really specified how she died or went away. Like,
Don't
they
look
just
for answers.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of unnecessary to murder his wife too. But obviously that's a setting off point for him, and he loses his shit. And his goal is to just, he's got to get his daughter back because they stole him, and now everybody's against him. All his old comrades, they're all against him.
The funny thing is like, they did all this shit, right? But like every time they see him after, they're like, "Why are you so mad? Why the fuck are you so mad?"
Well, he's the most angry fucking main character I think I've ever seen in a game.
Yeah.
He doesn't ever stop being pissed off, which I mean, he has reason to be pissed off. To be fair,
well, apparently not. According to the other ones, they have no fucking idea.
And, although he was always kind of grumpy even before that when they show his flashbacks.
I don't know. He seemed nicer.
He was a little nicer. He wasn't completely fucking filled with rage before.
Yeah.
He's just a little kind of off-putting. He's just a grumpy man. He's very Vegeta-like. Yeah. But the other deities, like we mentioned earlier, they're all actually pretty cool. I really like them. Specifically, his teacher.
August.
Yeah, August. He was really cool. And then you have your brother-in-law too.
Yasha.
Yeah. Yasha's,
those are the coolest ones.
Yasha probably the best. Actually, not even. I don't think there's any probably about it.
No,
he's the best character in the game.
Yeah.
Yes, he's definitely.
In terms of character development and actually like a written character that you might care about, he's absolutely the best character in the game.
And he actually plays much funner too. You get to play as him.
You do get to play as him, which is in some really cool parts, honestly.
Yeah. His parts were really good.
Yeah. I really
honestly
loved the level where you had to because there's like on-rail shooter levels in the game too, and the part with him was really cool.
Oh yeah. Like, it's much more interesting than being on Earth when you're like with him in the side of space.
Yeah, because you go in the side of space and you're flying through space and going through the space station. You see all this like fucking weird technology that you got, and it's really cool.
Yeah, and the funny thing is like you said, like, he gets character development. Asura does not.
No, not really.
He's a flat line basically the whole game.
Not until the last second of the DLC does he really show any change in his character. But man, a lot goes on in this game. It is just very over the top. The battles are crazy. You fight.
Yeah, I mean, like, the battle system itself was really basic. You just like pummel things until you fill up this bar.
Yeah.
And once you fill up, you press the button, and then the quick time events start, and that's how you beat the level.
Yeah.
They don't really have like. They don't necessarily have like
health.
the enemies have health. Yeah.
Right.
It's just you have to fill out the bar by beating the shit out of things.
Yeah.
Which felt kind of weird.
I mean, weird.
It felt weird, but it also felt fitting because Azura's whole thing is to beat shit up, like, furiously, like, just brute force everything, and that's what basically you were doing.
Yes, but
so
like,
it felt appropriate.
I agree that it felt appropriate, but also like it felt kind of weird because the resolution to every action scene had to be a QTE. Like, there was no getting around it. You had to do it.
Yeah.
Or I mean, I guess you didn't even have to do it, probably.
Yeah.
But you had to do it. You had to get your bar up high enough to activate it. So you do have a health bar though. So you can die if you don't fill up the meter fast enough before you die. You have to start all over again. But that being said, I mean, I played this game on normal. Not much of a challenge even then.
Not so much.
I only really had a challenge once I got to the DLC, and you have to fight Yasha, and like the last fight with him was kind of hard. But even it wasn't like super hard, but that was really the only time I was like, okay, now I really got to actually try here.
The one fight that stood out to me was one of the DLC fights with Ryu. Like, you had to fight evil Ryu. He was a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the only one, basically.
Yeah, I mean, most of the fights very simple. It plays in a kind of a 3D beat 'em up style, like a 3D fighter. And
it switches between beat 'em up and on rail shooter.
On-rail shooter, which is also a very random thing that it has in this game too.
But it's like it kind of broke up the monotony sometimes.
Yes. Because the combat is so basic, it was like you were glad to have those on-rail parts to not to feel so dragging. Like the game didn't drag.
And they did a really good job on those, because basically like all the animations and the visuals are like fucking gorgeous to look at. Like all the action, like the cinematic camera and everything, they did a really good job with it, even in the cutscenes.
Yeah, it is. It's a good looking game between the art direction and just the graphics themselves, and the way they decided to do it. It's kind of like cell shaded in a way. They use this weird this interesting shading technique where everything kind of looks like grainy, like pencil lined, I guess.
Yeah,
it's hard to explain.
Like lined, yeah.
Yeah, but it looks really cool. I really like it.
Yeah, I really like Asura's design. Like Asura's design looks great.
Yeah.
And he grows 4 arms on his back too, and he looks really cool. And I really like his at the end of the game when you get like the
mantra Asura, the silver body. Yeah, I like that designer a lot. It was really cool.
He gets so many forms.
Yeah.
He basically goes through Super Saiyan 1 through God, basically.
Yeah, he even has like a form that's literally like the nine-tailed fox, where he just can't control himself, and he turns like all one color. And he always kind of has the same face too as the nine-tailed fox. He looks that's all I could think of when he because it was like his rage mode where he completely lost himself, where he wasn't even him anymore.
Somehow he can get even madder.
Yeah, right. And I was like, cool, this is absolutely Naruto right now.
Yep. Yeah. 100%.
That's when you have to be Yasha. You fight him to get him to realize
Yasha
who he
kicks
is.
his ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Multiple times.
Honestly, not even sure how Yasha ever loses to Asura, because he just beats him constantly.
It's like they always gave an excuse on why he lost the fight, and it wasn't like a fair kind of way. It was like, I mean, especially like the last one, it's like somehow he was the strongest as ever, Yasha, even though he basically killed him, injured himself. He still held up to Asura, even after Asura had powered up so much.
Yeah, when he took his core out, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty. Well, I think he was planning to lose that fight, but yeah.
Well, yeah, he was planning to lose it, but that was the fucking toughest fight in the game.
That was a cool ass fight though, because it went from the past to the present, in between.
They did a cool they did a good job in this game with jumping to flashbacks to forward. I liked the small little pieces of backstory that you got. Even with this teacher there, with him training and stuff like that, I thought it was really interesting. It gave a little bit more context to the characters and stuff. So
they did a good job, establishing the relationship between all the characters in Asura.
Well,
in the beginning, it was a little slow because there was a little bit literally a flashback in the second chapter, and it was showing the flashbacks a little too much, heavily. But then they adjusted it. It was good.
There was a couple characters I didn't particularly care about, like Olga or that other.
Yeah, I didn't Olga or the big guy. Yeah.
Him or the guy who's just creepy for no reason.
The guy that thinks everything's beautiful. I forgot his name too.
Yeah. They all kind of played tropes in a way.
But they were just boring.
Yeah. They also had the old guy, the
old strategist. I liked him. Yeah.
And the main guy, if
Deus.
I can remember, Deus. Yeah, who absolutely reminded me of Twilight Princess Ganondorf.
Yeah, I saw it afterwards. Yeah, once you said that, I was like, "Yep, okay, I see it now."
He had the goatee and everything. He looked a lot like him. But I liked Deus actually.
That was he was a cool villain. He was a cool fight.
And when you finally beat him, you kind of even then he kind of like comes around and you kind of almost feel sympathy for him.
Yeah, because his whole goal, like, he never really wanted power. That was his whole thing. He just wanted to beat the Vlithra.
Yeah, he just wanted to save the world and get rid of Goma, like, even no matter what sacrifices it took, and it took a lot, apparently.
He didn't want to, like, rule the world or rule the universe or anything like that. In his mind, he was doing everything the right way and doing the only thing he thought was...
Yeah, because nobody else would do it,
Yeah.
So, you know, that to me is I always enjoy that in a villain. And I thought he was pretty cool.
A little bit of nuance.
Yeah.
And he has electric nunchucks.
Very true.
Yeah. I just want to ask you guys what your favorite boss fight in the game was. Like, you can say one of the DLC fights too if you want. It's fine.
It was probably Yasha in the DLC, but also like Deus and August and Chakravartin at the end, the last version of him.
Oh, he was fucking so cool looking.
Yeah.
You fight him in that white void, and just his character design was just... I was like, this is cool as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. When they initially show him, like, for people who don't really know, Chakravartin is, like, supposedly, like, the main god. He's, like, a secret villain that you get in the true ending or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when he... Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was about... Should we mention, like, the whole... You get to the ending, and it's a really, really big cliffhanger, and unless you get the DLC...
I do want to talk about that, but I want to talk about... Continue with the favorite fights here, because I have a favorite fight, too.
Yeah, so, those three. Or four, I said.
Those three. I mean, if I had to pick one, my favorite one was against August, because, I mean, you fight him on the fucking moon.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Which was just so cool. And then... The music playing when you fight him was Symphony No. 9 in E minor, which as soon as it started playing, I was like, "Oh, I know this song." Like, that was just really cool as fuck to me. Like, that song has been used like in just a few different things. I know it's used in One Piece. It was used when Luffy fought Crocodile, and it's used in wrestling. It's Walter's theme song from NXT UK, and it's just a cool fucking sounding song, and I was like, this is awesome. It just brought that fight to 11 for me. Not only was it on the moon, but it played that song too, and I was like, this is so cool.
Yeah, I really like that fight. Yeah. Also, you also fight Evil Ryu and Akuma up there on the moon. So.
Oh, you do fight him on the moon too?
Yeah.
Oh my! I can't believe that's a DLC. What ridiculous!
It is ridiculous. I mean, the whole game is ridiculous.
Yeah. So I guess you can't really be super surprised about anything in this game. But yeah, no, like you mentioned that the end of the game, when you get to the end, there's 18 chapters in the main game. When you get to chapter 18, after you beat it, and this kind of pissed me off.
Absolutely.
After you beat chapter 18, it was like, now you've unlocked chapter 18 true, and... Well, at first it said in order to unlock it, you had to get at least 5 S ranks, which I did, so it just unlocked automatically right after that message. And I was like, all right, cool. Went to it, thinking it was going to be, a little bit different, but I'll tell you, this is why it pissed me off. It is the fucking same exact thing until the last second, and it's barely anything different. So I basically had to play the last level just back to back, just the exact same shit, and that was just irritating, Like,
which isn't a good level. Like, it's not very good. Like,
no.
I don't want to fight that Vlithra boss again, which was a huge disappointment the first time I fought him. But like, not good. And it's so shitty because all they do is like tease the main villain a little bit more.
Right. In the true ending, it's like, you beat like the first basic ending, without the actual true ending. It's like, okay, destroyed the bad guy. Am I still angry? That's it. and then they go the true ending, and they show you save your daughter. They go to like release her or whatever, and then Olga appears, threatens to kill her, and then one of the characters that you meet very early in the game transforms into God, like literal God of everything. Kills Olga. I guess it takes over your daughter's body, and it's like, I am the all being, I am the true God, and they just leave it at that. They don't go further. Like, you don't even see like Asura's or Yasha's reaction or anything. It's just like, what the fuck?
Noah got lucky because he obviously played it on my Xbox, so he didn't have to do that because I had already unlocked it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, you're lucky. You don't have to play this level fucking twice in a row.
Yep.
It's dumb as fuck.
It was just pointless. And it's dumb that is where the game ends. And then there's the DLC, which is the 4th chapter, which adds 4 new episodes. So 19, 20, 21, 22.
And the DLC is really good. Like this,
really good.
Yes.
Like a much better ending to the game than what you get without it.
So much better.
So
if you had, my idea for the game my impression of the game would have been a lot worse if the DLC didn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was awesome. I loved the ending of the DLC. I was like, it just felt really fitting, and it was a good way to wrap it up. It felt awesome.
Yeah, because you get resolution for Yasha's, relationship with Asura, and you get resolution for Asura. You know, he finally overcomes his anger.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like, this is what we needed.
Yeah, this is what the ending should have been to begin with.
Oh, fucking dumb way to do it. I don't know why they did it, and I don't know how much this game cost when it came out. You know, now it's only $4. The DLC is not like cheap either. I mean, it's cheap, but compared to the price of the game, it was $8 for the DLC.
Yeah, like $7.
Twice the price. Yeah, twice the price of the fucking game, which is like, you know, whatever, because it's not. You know, at the end of the day, you spend $12 for the full package. But they should have just sold it like that.
Yeah, they should really have a complete version by now.
Yeah, I wouldn't even have second thought it if it was like $12. Here's the whole thing with all the DLC. Fine, and that's not even all the DLC either.
Yeah,
I think we mentioned there's the Street Fighter DLC where you fight Ryu and fucking Akuma, and there's there's 2 other chapters that get a 0.5 where they add a little bit extra, like, and those are like $2 or something. But like, just throw it all in one package now. Like, it's the game's 8 years old. Like, come on, you know, you're selling the game for $4. Obviously, you don't fucking care about making a shitload of money off it at this point. Just kind of, you know, bundle it together for $15 and just sell it all at once.
And, you know, if you're going to keep it separate, at least make it fucking findable on the Xbox store. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, that's an Xbox thing, not even that's not really, I guess, fault of this game or Capcom, but yes, it's stupid.
It is kind of a fault of their thing, because don't they, like, list it? Don't they have, like, the proper name for it?
Sure, I guess. How does that work? But also Xbox could, you know, list it all together and under the same page, you know? Like,
fucking up.
Yeah. I don't know how it is on the PlayStation Store, but maybe it's better.
Hopefully it's better.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's
because you definitely want to play that DLC if you're going to play the game. Otherwise you're going to be majorly disappointed.
It's almost necessary. Because my first thought was when I was playing it that, you know, I'll just play through it, and then I was told, you know, Saf had played this game, so he said, oh, well, you gotta get the DLC to see the actual ending. So I was like, well, you know, maybe I'll just watch it. You probably could, because, like we said,
we mentioned, the 80% of the game
really
is
just
cutscene,
watching the game, yeah. But I still wanted to play it, you know, so I did.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I definitely wanted to play it.
Right, because even though we say that it's just QTEs, it's still pretty fun. You know, it's nothing incredible about it. Like, the combat's just fine, but it's still, you know, decent fun. It's still you're not having a bad time when you're playing the game. It's still enjoyable. So
yeah, for the most part.
Right.
I started feeling tired by the end because, you know, like, there wasn't very much for me to do. But
wasn't very different, you know, at that point.
But I didn't hate it. Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. You're just trying to push through to get through the story, because you've already experienced everything the gameplay has to show. I mean, the final boss of the game, I did have to change my strategy up a little bit for him. He was a little difficult, because he like just had an attack that I had to actually, like, I did the most amount of dodging over any fight in the game when I fought him. But
yeah, he's pretty powerful, and you have to, like, to be able to counter his attack, you have to do it really fast because he'll just do it. He'll hit you with it if you don't press the button fast enough.
Very fast. And I think if you press the wrong button, it automatically fucks it for you.
Yeah.
Like if you press the wrong one, so you can't just mash them. You kind of have to like be ready on it.
Mm-hmm.
And you did have to be very fast. But the counters and stuff, like all the animations for all like those parts of the fights, like the outside of the cutscenes, were like really fucking cool.
Yeah, they were.
I really liked those. Like they got really cool with the different counters, like him like flipping them over or like cracking their necks or whatever he was doing. Even when you fight the regular enemies, like there was some cool animations and stuff.
Yeah, every boss has like this counter that you can do to them, and they're usually like very cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
or maybe not every boss, but most bosses.
At least most of them, yeah. I mean, like even the regular enemies, like I said, have most of them have counters that you can do to them.
Yeah.
The regular
enemies.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about them. They were just kind of like fodder. The Goma, yeah, they're all like there's like based on different animals. There's like monkey ones,
you got gorillas, turtles. You got elephants, you got turtles, you got weird flying manta rays.
Yeah. They were kind of whack. Like I didn't care about them at all.
Yeah.
I kind of wish the Goma had like Viltra and Goma had more story to them. They were just there to be a nuisance. There was nothing to them.
No idea. Like they tell you that the main villain Chakravartin put them there to like test the demigods or whatever to find his new heir or whatever. It's so dumb. Like, why can't they have like more to them? Like, they're supposed to be the huge threat for like most of the game. Like, why?
I was hoping the Goma was just like trying to fight for survival and like trying to stay alive. But yeah.
And I thought Vlitra was like really cool. Like him popping out of the earth like initially. I thought that was super dope. Like it reminded me of Lavos from Chrono Trigger. Like this huge thing coming out of the earth. So I was hoping for something more there, and I just got super disappointed by the final fight with him. Because he was just like basically a clone of your Berserker form.
Yeah.
Which is dumb as fuck.
Yeah. That was kind of dumb. But, you also fight the, because like you have the army of the deities have their own like army. And they have like these angel things. They very much they remind me of like Bayonetta. Like the little grunts and stuff. They remind me of like the angels from Bayonetta.
Yeah, the angels, they look a lot like that.
Yeah.
Also,
that's the vibe I was getting.
Why do they have so many starships? Like
they have an insane number of starships. And what's the point if they can just fly around in space?
And what's the point if any one of them can destroy like millions of starships by themselves?
Yeah, by just flying through them.
Yeah, it's so like worthless. Like, they're all just fodder. It's pointless.
Yeah, really, just to have like big explosions and Michael Bay style scenes.
I can very much see Michael. I can very much see Michael Bay doing a movie of this game.
Yeah, I would love that, honestly.
Yeah, it'd probably be pretty fun.
Yeah,
I'd rather watch it than play it, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, who the hell would play like Asura, though? Like,
I don't know.
Who would be angry enough in Hollywood,
Would they have to be angry?
I mean, if they're going to tap into that character, they're going to be real pissed.
I don't know. We'll find somebody.
All right.
We'll put out the casting call.
I mean, The Rock would be good for the teacher guy.
August.
The Rock would be good for him.
Yeah, maybe. He needs a lot more hair.
Well, you can wear a wig. You wear makeup, Good special effects artist, man.
Is he your favorite character because of the hot spring scene?
Yeah.
Hot spring scene. I mean, that was I got an achievement for
Oh yeah, we've even mentioned a random fucking thing in the game. I didn't figure it out until like the last chapter of the game. You can move the camera freely, well, almost freely. When there's a cutscene going, you can use the right analog stick to zoom in and move the camera around while the cutscene's playing. So random.
Don't know what the point is. It really is no point in that.
Why would you need to zoom in when every cutscene fucking consists of somebody getting their face zoomed in on? Like, there's one part of every cutscene where they like do a super zoom in on somebody's face.
Yeah. Oh, Brandon was about to mention with the achievement. That was probably the main function of the camera thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, fucking getting that achievement for zooming into that girl's breast.
Yep.
Yep.
There's like 5. There's like 5 achievements in that fucking hot spring thing.
In that one spot, there's one for like drinking too much.
Finding all the peeping toms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So random.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why they decided we're just gonna. That's the only part of the game that's like that. It's like a weird like first-person view, and you have like buttons to press to like drink or like
do
talk to
different
a girl.
things. Yeah.
It's like what the hell is random?
Yeah, it is.
And then they're like, we're gonna put so many achievements in this fucking part of the game. It's like, okay. Oh man, weird. So, yeah, I mean, you guys have anything else in the game? I mean, I kind of went over everything I wanted to really talk about.
For the most part, yeah. I mean, I just have like random like thoughts about it. Like, I don't understand how his arms keep growing back. Like, he's a robot, but he also has like a kid. So I don't understand.
Like, it feels like they were like a combination of cyborg and robot. So
yeah.
Like they were like 80% robot, like only like 20% man or like person or whatever. Maybe even less than that.
They don't get into it at all. Like they just like gloss over it completely. And I didn't understand why the game kept telling me the impurity level of Lagoma. Like, why?
That was just like a Dragon Ball Z power level thing.
Yeah, that was absolutely. That's an anime thing right there.
That was dumb as fuck. Like,
I mean, the hot spring thing is straight up out of anime too. You know, it's just you gotta have the hot spring scene, and you gotta have characters' power levels, and I mean,
you can't have a Japanese game without a hot spring. Come on,
you can't.
I at this point, I just figure like there's a hot spring on every corner in Japan.
There always is.
Yeah.
That's where people hang out and they bond and they can become best friends.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, the other thing I would say is like I was expecting more out of the Goma themselves, like a story or some kind of reason why they were doing what they were doing. Because apparently they were a major threat to the world.
Yeah, oh my god. It's so weird because you jump into the future like so far, like after the initial sequence, you jump 12,000 years into the future and like basically everything is the same. Like all the Goma are there. They haven't figured out a way to destroy them. Like they're still working at the same goal.
Yeah.
And then you jump another 500 years into the future because you die sort of again. And then what happens? Nothing. They're all still fucking with the same Goma.
Yeah,
and apparently they're way more powerful than they were before, and you became more powerful than them, so it's like really weird.
Yeah.
Like,
those 7 deities are fucking useless.
Yeah. Except Yasha.
I mean,
Yasha
lots of anime ass pulls with power levels and stuff like that too. So that's how it is. That's how it be. I want to say one random note. I liked the voice actor for. I liked all the voice acting actually in the game, but I really like the narrator that narrates like the next on the next episode thing.
Yeah,
it's just I liked that narrator. I don't know. It just felt cool. Like a lot of Asura. Asura was great, and I liked all the voice actors in the game, really.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with any of them. They're all pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but specifically shout out to that narrator. I don't know what it was. It just got me hyped for the next episode.
Yeah, initially I didn't really like those scenes, but like over time I just kind of warmed up to them. They were pretty good, like the trailers before and after every episode.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, now I guess we're gonna talk about our. We're gonna tell you guys whether or not we would recommend this game to you to pick up. And I'm gonna start with me, because I picked the game, and I'm gonna say that I would recommend playing it. I mean, it's $4, so like $12. Sorry. because you have to buy the DLC. If you are going to play this game, you gotta buy the DLC. So I mean, even $12, cheap. It's a cheap game. I mean, and it's, you know, even with the DLC tacked on, you're looking at about, you know, a 10-hour playtime, and it's pretty good. You know, it's the story's great. You know, you could probably get just as much out of watching it, but you know, if you want to feel involved and you want to have a little quick little fun game, I would say give it a playthrough, man. So I'm gonna say yes. And Ilse?
Well, I'm gonna say no, because like you said, you get just as much out of it as, you know, watching it. You know, just fucking watch it on YouTube, basically. It's not that it's a bad game. Like, if you have to play it, you know, play it. Go for it. You know, it's still pretty engaging, like sort of, you know, kind of. But there's nothing like, you don't feel anything that much more if you just, you know, watched it. So no.
Okay, Noah.
Yeah, you guys pretty much summed it up. I would say though. Yeah, I would play it. But if you're definitely gonna play it, definitely go for the full package. You don't want to miss out on the DLC. You get it, like the visuals are like the animations and everything is like really, really extremely well done. And props to like all the people that worked on it. Like they did a terrific job on like showcasing the fights and making it really like exciting to watch or like to go through in general.
Yep.
Yeah. It definitely would have been nicer if we actually played more. But yeah, I'd play it. I'd recommend it.
All right.
The story's definitely worth going through anyway. But yeah.
Okay, so now it's time to put Asura's Wrath on the list.
The list.
You can follow along with the list in the link for the paste bin below, where every week on the Up Supercast Game Club, well, not every week, but every episode, we add whatever game we played to the list. And it's an ongoing list. We add a game every regular episode. So it goes from best to worst, and we just continue to add games to it. And it's the game I chose, so I'm going to start off with looking at the list and telling you guys where I think, and then going from there. So I've been thinking about it a little bit here, and I want to put it initially. My first thought is at number 125, below Until Dawn, but above Bulletstorm.
I'm looking at that exact same spot, right?
Yeah.
But I would want it like right below Bulletstorm.
I was thinking that too. I mean, because like both of the games have a lot of dude bro energy going into them,
yes.
Right? And, like Until Dawn was my sticking point of like, here's a QTE game, but actually like a better one. You know, very heavy on the story and heavy in just, you know, it's like an interactive movie basically, like this game is. But like we said, even when we were talking about earlier, Until Dawn just does a better job of like you have to be paying. Everything matters in that game when you do the QTEs, because there's different outcomes and endings, and characters can die or
die. They will die.
They absolutely will die if you don't press the buttons, and they'll interact with each other differently. You know, so there's a lot of decision making, and you know, it's better. So I think I will not put it above Until Dawn. Yeah, Bulletstorm.
Yeah, I'd
be willing to flip either way.
So satisfying in Bulletstorm, like yeah.
Yeah, Bulletstorm does have that. Has a very cool combo system in it.
Yes.
And the gunplay is actually, it feels really good. It's very fun. It's very fun to play.
Yeah, Bulletstorm definitely wins in the gameplay department.
Absolutely. Not so much in the story department.
Yeah, in the story department, Asura kicks its ass. But
right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So they're both radiate a lot of the same energy, and then so like, and if I do say Bulletstorm is better, I think it's better than Skull Monkeys, so I would put it above that game for me for sure.
Yeah, so like right below Bulletstorm, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that spot.
Okay.
Yep. Sounds good.
So boom, look at that. I hit the nail on the head pretty quick there.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I was looking at that exact spot, like when you said it.
Yeah.
This is the spot.
It just feels right. That feels where it goes. So Asura's Wrath is now number 126 on the list, and surrounding it, number 124, Until Dawn. Number 125, Bulletstorm, Full Clip Edition. That was a Game Club game, by the way, if you want to listen to that episode. Lots of swears in that episode. Number 126. Yeah, right off the bat, just like the game. Number 126 is now Asura's Wrath. Number 127 is Skull Monkeys. Hey, Game Club episode. And number 128, New and Tasty Oddworld Abe's Odyssey. Hey, what do you know? Game Club game. So
this list is gonna be like full Game Club games. Like it's gonna turn into a Game Club game list.
Well, there's no way that can happen because we only happen like every 2 weeks, but we just have a lot of representation because we have a lot of spots.
Right.
True. Actually, yeah. If you think about it, we add a game to it every week with the normal podcast.
It'll never actually catch up. So it'll always be 2-1.
Actually, it'll start to diminish. Like be less, way less.
Right. Yeah.
But we'll have more than any one person.
One person.
Always.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's always going to be 2-1, basically. So that is it for the list portion of the episode here, and we're going to wrap things up. But before we go, I just want to say that if you did enjoy the Jump Up Supercast Game Club, make sure you check us out on your favorite podcast listening service of your choice, including SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube, where new episodes of the Game Club will go up every other Thursday, as well as normal Jump Up Supercast episodes that do go up every single Monday. We just talk about the news, and hey, we add games to the list as well. So give us a follow, a like, or a share. Feel free to let us know what you thought about Asura's Wrath, if you've ever played it, or if you do want to play it, down in the comments below. Support us if you enjoy what we do here. You can support us on Patreon, where for $1 a month, you get the chance to choose a Game Club game every round. So that's coming up pretty soon. So if you want to jump on that, you definitely can. So we've played a couple of cool games already on it. And we're looking forward to whatever the next game is that Patreon picks. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram to stay up to date on everything Jump Up Supercast related, like when the episodes go up. Sometimes Saf tweets random stuff. It's interesting. So if you want to see what Saf's talking about in Final Fantasy VII or whatever, just follow us on Twitter. You can catch us streaming sometimes on twitch.tv/JumpUpSupercast. And as always, I want to thank Ills and Noah for joining me. But before we leave, Ills, it's back to you, man. So what game are we playing next?
All right, finally, something worth living for. Yeah, so I'm gonna go a little bit against type. Like I normally pick RPGs and action games, so I'm gonna go around and pick an adventure game, and we're gonna play Night in the Woods.
Oh, nice! That is a good pick, man. That was on my list.
Well, there you go.
And I've started playing that game actually.
Well, there you go.
So, hey, nice. All right, so join us in 2 weeks. We're gonna talk to you guys about Night in the Woods and talk all about how we felt about that game. And thank everybody for listening. Go out there, play some video games, and don't be angry. Be nice.